$12.03. 12.04.
Holy.
Oh.
I blame Trev. Actually, I blame
No. He's in a good mood today.
I blame Huss.
Oh,
Huss
I
and
blame
Eric.
Huss. So chatty. I'm kidding. Great job, Lieutenant Eric, hopping on for Dusty on the Lock Shop. Actually, we got to see Dusty on the Lock Shop. The Lock Shop Partner Parlay. I know Jay's play of the day hit yesterday. So shout out to the boys as we head into another weekend of excellent sports action. CFL. Okay, we got 3 games. Starts tonight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Baseball playoffs, outstanding so far. Jays tomorrow against the Yankees. Hello. And then we have the preseason winding down. Thank you. What else do we have? Yeah, we have college footballs in full swing.
I will still watch that game tonight, Tommy.
You're going to watch that game tonight?
I'll
watch that game
fall
tonight.
asleep halfway through. And
I'll watch that game tonight.
yeah, why not, right?
We're talking about the Oilers and the Canucks. Final preseason game for the Oil. We'll get to lineups. We'll get to the news about Kris Knoblauch's contract extension. It is Tom Gazzola. It is Hernan, the Latino Heat Salas, inside the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studios. We are coming at you today. Presented by Boston Pizza. As always, go see our good friends over at BP's. They still have the buy one medium or large pizza. Get the second one 50% off. The lunch menu. I had it last week at the Manning location when we were on location. Dusty and I had the baked 7-cheese ravioli lunch portion. It was phenomenal. I got coleslaw with it.
Nice. I love coleslaw.
Yeah, coleslaw is good. It was a good, not too heavy on the mayonnaise or whatever, the sauce, if you will. Just enough, a little pepper in there and manja. It was so very, very good. And the 7 baked ravioli, 7 cheese ravioli was perfect. I was good for the rest of the day. So go see our friends over at Boston Pizza if you're getting a little bit peckish right now. And you can take advantage of the lunch menu. Or like I said, they have that buy one medium or large pizza, get the second for half off. Maybe you want to go grab everyone at work. It's a nice fall day. Say, what'd you bring for lunch? You don't really like it. You made a sandwich? Let's go to BP's. Let's go have a pierogi pizza. Let's go with the Meteor. Let's get a Great White North. I can't wait, Hernan, till we get to go see Tony and Curtis at BP Westgate in a couple weeks. And yeah, Trev's given this. We made some great deals with Tony. Some wagers in regard to this season. Now, Tony's wagering doesn't look too bad right now, considering the preseason David Tomaszek is having, or Tomaszek, as he'd like to be called. And that's totally understandable. Tomaszek. It's
Tomaszek
like
is
my babunia.
Yeah.
My grandma on my mom's side. My mom's a little Polish lady, if you haven't figured that out by now. My dad's Italian. She calls me Tomek or Tomasz. So it's kind of like a Slavic way of saying Thomas. And then my nona would call me Tomazino or Tommaso.
Tomás.
Man, I'd be like,
I like Tomás.
When my grandmas call me by my proper name in their native tongues, it's all good. My mom or dad calls me by my full name. I'm going, are you sick? What's wrong with you? I'm kidding.
Tomás.
Anyway.
Well, he is on the first power play today at practice.
He's on the first power play at practice. He's had a very good training camp, was a little bit sick and under the weather. Thank you, Coob. That's the best thing you've done all day. I appreciate that. You are appreciated.
Can you bring mine? Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, no. I think he's upset that I closed the door on his face right before we started the show.
Yeah,
you liked that, didn't you, Trev? You can hop on if you want. I'm going to have a sip of this.
Americano. I did like that. That was good. That was funny. Coob's, he's an innocent child.
He's excited for the weekend.
He means well.
He does. Yeah. I was just like, here's your hat. Get out of here. There he is. Thank you, Coop. Yes, go back. Go.
Thank you, son. Thank you.
All right, move on.
Hey,
Proceed.
kudos to the one and only Reed Wilkins for offering us Starbucks.
Thank you, Riedrich. That is a good teammate. That's a glue guy.
Bringing
move
in
right
the money.
There. Glue guy's wearing off on him a little bit. We appreciate that. Okay, let's start off with so Tomasek, however you want to say it, will be getting a little bit of power play time tonight in Vancouver. What else do we know going into tonight's action?
Well, Jake Wallman was on the ice skating, but he will not play tonight. But it looks like he's trending towards playing on opening night, which is what you want. Janmark sounds like is going to be out for at least a week.
You rest that baby angel.
You rest him. So, we'll see. He might miss the first game of the season. No clarification on that. What else? We got lines.
We have lines.
Tompkins called up.
Yes. Had a great exchange with Ryan Holt from Bakersfield in regard to the Tompkins call-up. I will not pass it along on the air because there were some expletives in there.
Yeah, sounds like Skinner might be a little ill.
But isn't he supposed to start today?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so just a precautionary. Apparently, Tompkins is driving down to Bakersfield.
Okay.
That's the information. Among the expletive-laden reply I got from Holtby, he called it the old vet drive.
The old vet drive.
Yeah.
Now, take this with a grain of salt, these lines. Now, I think the top two lines are going to start next Wednesday. Draisaitl, McDavid, Frederick, Nuge between Podkolzin and Mangiapane.
Okay.
Third line is Tomasek with Kapanen and Ike Howard. Your fourth line is Noah Philp with Savoy and Adam Henrique. Your extras are Max Jones and Curtis Lazar with Janmark, obviously injured, not skating.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, Ekholm with Bouchard. Nurse with Stetcher, which will be Wallman if he's healthy.
Right.
Kulak, Emberson. Wallman skated with Regula on the fourth pair. Our own Reed Wilkins was down there. Great info there. So, Tom, I mean, this is as close as you're going to get to the starting lineup for Wednesday.
Close. Yeah. So, one last dress rehearsal here. It's interesting. Like, Regula has had a very nice camp.
Yep.
We saw guys get sent down yesterday. That Leppinen, it's going to take some time. I think in the last couple of games, he didn't look as effective as he did in the early part of the preseason, and that's fine. And to me, the reassuring thing about this training camp, and the thing I feel like I've learned, and maybe us collectively, watching, observing, covering this team, being a fan of the team, is that the shelves are a little bit more stocked than we thought.
100%.
They've been replenished somewhat. I think there's some good prospects that they've gone out and signed.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought along some guys. This Regula waiver claim. Thank you, Trev. And the patience that they showed after he recovered from the knee surgery after ripping up his knee. It looks like right now is paying off. That's good. You don't have to thrust him in there right now. Maybe I know there's talk about having him on the opening day roster and issues with like a waiver claim and this and that, and that's valid. But you need a young guy like that that has 22 games to play games.
Yeah,
whether
of course.
It's probably in Bakersfield, however they get him down there.
And that's the positive.
But that's fine.
That's the positive about this training camp. We discussed it yesterday on EST Afternoons. Is a lot of these guys, the Ike Howards, the Savoys, the Thomas Sheks, the Noah Phillips, they've done everything well. Up to this point. Has one guy stood out and blown the doors off? I don't think so. I think Savoy's been really good.
Yeah, he's the best of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's Tomaszek too, but he's older.
I think Regula really came on late.
Yep.
So good on them because I like that they're going to stick here because they've played well.
Yes.
They're not just being handed a position here. The people are saying, well, the Savoy lines that they're lined easy. Yes, I get it. I'm just reading them out how they were sent, and that's just the way. Sure, you can flip-flop the third and fourth line. Who cares?
If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it like that.
But defensively, though, Tom, I think you're set with your six. I said it yesterday, and I know everybody wants to see Regula, and I think he will get games, but you're not sitting out Emberson for Regula to start.
No, there's a reason why you gave Emberson that contract. Now, Regula was re-signed as well.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but I think, listen.
Stetcher might be in trouble.
Perhaps. I mean, to me, he always seemed like a spare part.
He's the seventh.
And he's serviceable, has been good at times, has had tough moments, sure. Yeah. But he's your seventh defenseman. With Emberson, if you really think about it, like Emberson's, 24 years old now, Remember last year when the Oilers traded for him, people were like, oh, his metrics are good. There's some good indicators. Valid. But it's still, and listen, he had good moments last year, and he had only 30 games under his belt. And there were some tough times, and there were some times where he had to sit out, and he didn't, he started the playoffs and he didn't finish them. He's also, and he's not much older than Regula, he's also continuing to develop. And I think he's ahead of Regula in terms of that development curve. And listen, at some point, Regula, like that's the Bruins, from what I was told, had a plan for Regula, okay? And then they waived him. He had the injury. The Oilers plucked him off of waivers. Bowman has a connection to him from the Chicago days. He drafted him and got him into some games. And it kind of took the Bruins by surprise a bit, right? So there's obviously probably a plan in place for him here. But you're not just going to thrust him ahead of Emerson.
Emerson has done nothing to lose his spot. Nothing. And kudos to Regula. He put himself on the radar.
Fantastic.
He's making the Oilers make a tough decision. And I do think he will play in October. I do think that. But right now, I think if everyone's healthy, we're going to see the sixth defenseman that kind of ended last year outside of one or two because you had Klimberg. But Emerson's going to, and Emerson kills penalties. I don't know if Regula's going to be thrust into that spot, but I like his size. I like his skating. His first pass is very solid, and that's what the Oilers need. They need guys that can make that first pass, that stretch pass, Tom, to get him out of trouble in their own zone. So interesting to see on that sense. Up front, Tommy, like you said, I think Savoy's kind of stood out. Tomaszek, I'll be honest, Tom, you and I think did a show where we were kind of giving the Oilers a hard time for the old Euro and all that. But I'll be honest, and I think you've said it too, he's looked damn well in preseason.
Correct. He's made good plays. He's taken faceoffs.
He's
played
sneaky
center.
good.
Yeah, he's lining up at center again today. It has been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And I know there have been people who've made comments saying, oh, Tommy's going to be mad. Tomaszek's playing well. What my issue was and is in general with the Tomaszek situation is going and plucking guys out of Europe like you know something better or like you're smarter than other teams. This is one that so far, and again, it's still preseason and training camp, has looked good.
Yeah.
But
when he's going to play
nothing against the player.
Yeah, when he goes up against the top teams, we're going to see what he's made of. And so far, so good. He's come here and he's put himself on the map. He's getting power play time, looks, and all that. We'll hear from Kris Knoblauch on ESC Afternoons, but there's a reason for that. So he's been really good. Ike Howard, on the other hand, I think he's been all right.
He's been okay.
He's been okay.
Puck touches were better in Seattle, I thought.
Very good. Him and Henrique Savoy scored a beauty goal.
Yes, they did.
It was a great three-way passing, two-way, and then the nice deflection by Savoy. I think he's been good, but I'm remaining patient with him because I know the jump he's making is enormous. Talking to, you've talked to Struds, Joaquin's a former pro. That jump from college to NHL is enormous. So I'm not going to write him off if he has a slow start.
You can't write him off.
I'm not going to say he's going to score 50 if he starts the season off hot. It's going to be a transition for him. He is going to start here, Tom.
Yes. Well, that's the plan.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't bring him in, make a trade for probably one of your best prospects in Sam O'Reilly and get this guy with all this clout and not play him and try him out. Now, he might need seasoning in the minors.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And it might happen at some point this season.
Right.
Now, Noah Philp, for me, has outplayed Curtis Lazar.
Agreed.
Right? Noah Philp should be your fourth line center.
Has earned a spot on this team.
He's earned it. And that's what you ask these guys to do is come in here and earn a spot. And I think for the most part, most of them have, because most of them have played well. Some guys have excelled in other games. Other guys have been more quiet, but no one's kind of played themselves off, right?
That's fair.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But I look at this lineup, Tom. When I read that lineup to you, how good do you think this lineup can be?
Potentially best in the Pacific.
Okay.
This lineup will need to evolve as the season goes on. We've witnessed this firsthand the last couple of years to take you from a good team to a contender type team.
Yeah.
There's some question marks. Yeah. Personal jinx.
There's question marks, but there's excitement too because there's new blood. Where last year it was just a veteran team.
Right. It's old and slow and this and that. And it's like, yes, but they're old and slow, but they're wise. And at times we saw that wisdom shine. And at times we saw the old creaky bodies falter, right?
Yeah.
Like they were flawed. This team's still flawed, but in a different way. And they still have the highest end talent you could possibly imagine at forward. They have a veteran defense, and they have some young guys that are progressing. So it's an interesting mix. I'm curious how the goaltending looks. Obviously,
is that for you, Tom, and for our listeners and viewers? Is that the biggest question going into the season? Is it the youth coming to the team, or is it the goaltending?
I put goaltending's under the spotlight more than the youth.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But what's more important, and
I think it's the evolution of these young guys.
Yeah, so do I.
Because they've made the playoffs with these two goalies. They've gone to the finals. Yes, I know they haven't won. So if these guys are solid, the Oilers are going to be a playoff team.
In theory, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Well, playoff, the expectation is like you're finishing top 3 in the Pacific.
Oh, one. Because I think the Pacific got worse.
You should be aiming for first in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Listen, Vegas added Marner.
Maybe they but they lost Petro.
Right? No Waugh, no Haig.
That's huge.
They traded those guys away, right? Those were big, literally big guys and big pieces of the depth at forward and the depth at defense.
I don't think LA got better.
Same. Older, slower. All they did is bring in old Oilers.
Yeah. Calgary stayed the same. I think Vancouver got worse.
I agree with that about Vancouver.
I think Anaheim will be a little bit better, but not for a playoff team.
Watch out for Anaheim. They're going to be the thorn in everybody's side.
Jackson Lacombe.
Look out.
Hey,
Strutty loves them.
They ran the Oilers show last year.
Yes, they did.
Let's not
Lucas
forget
Dostal loves playing against the Oilers.
I like Penner's Pancakes. He says, hockey season is on when we're all debating the 6th and 7th D-man spots.
2 weeks ago, Penner's Pancakes, I didn't even want to take a sniff at that conversation. Now I'm all in.
We wouldn't have it any other way, Penner's Pancakes. I love it. And Smitty the Welder says it's definitely the goalies. Oh, okay. I mean, you're not wrong. That. You're not wrong. But I like how you worded it. The spotlight's on. It's on Skinner. It's not on Pickard. Let's be honest.
Very good point.
It's on Stuart Skinner.
Yes.
And now with Connor Ingram being traded for and getting up to speed down in the minors, there's pressure here for Stuart Skinner.
I like that there is this depth and the possibility of someone being able to potentially push.
Yeah.
I think to me that's good. And there's no offense to Matt Tompkins.
No, of course not.
It's just now you have a guy that's had some good moments in the NHL. Obviously has dealt with some adversity, seems to be in a better place, which is great. But I am very much of the mind that at 26 years of age, a goalie like Stuart Skinner going into his 4th full NHL season, being thrust into the starting position way earlier than was planned, and going to back-to-back cups. Again, Calder finalist, All-Star as a replacement. I'll point that out. I think that can't be disregarded. The way it sometimes is around here. And I think there is the ability for that goalie to bounce back and improve his game. And we'll see. The test starts Wednesday. Actually, quite frankly, it starts tonight. Have a good game to maybe build some faith back in the fan base.
Yeah, you need a good opening game. The last 2 seasons have been absolute just blowouts, Tom.
They got murdered in the first game last year.
The one before, 8-1, was it? 9-1 to Vancouver?
They got murdered in the first game 2 years ago.
Oh, man. So they got to flip this. And listen, Calgary, I agree with you. I think Calgary's going to be that feisty team that's not going to go away. It's going to fight for that wild card spot. And they love ruining the party here in Edmonton on opening night. So
rude.
It's going to be a very, 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 very tough game. A lot of people sending in how they like Josh Szymanski.
Yes. So do I.
I think he put himself on the radar to be one of the top 2 call-ups. I truly do.
Let's see how he does down in Bakersfield, but there's a lot to like. Big, skates well, good hands, had some results point-wise in the preseason. A good showing. Like that, it's a little bit reassuring if you want to look full scope at the depth of the organization and you go, whoa, that signing worked out or looks good right now. Very, very pleasing, I think, to Oilers fans and satisfying knowing that, okay, so these guys that you didn't really know before could be something. And listen, not every single one of them will eventually turn out, but if you hit on 1 or 2 of them out of a group of 6 or 7, fantastic.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100%.
And I like how people are noticing Szymanski and the things that he brings and
the Finnish
the potential.
Leppinen.
Yeah, same thing. Like this, that's good. Okay. Tom 0, Oilers 2.
Don't
so far.
Right. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen here.
Lots can change,
but it's exciting. I think Gager always brings it up. He goes, "Where last year they brought all the same guys back. They brought in Skinner and Arvidsson, which were exciting, but there wasn't any battles at training camp, right? It was just now there is, and there's new blood coming in, and we just can't wait to see it. Now today, regardless of the score, I don't think it matters, Tom. I think if they win or lose, who cares? You just want to see good performances.
Smitty the Welder says it's just preseason.
Yeah, 100%.
Fair. Good point. Good caveat.
That's why we always say take the preseason with a grain of... I know we get excited. I include myself in that.
Today.
We get excited.
Very excited. I'm actually excited to watch this game tonight.
Yeah. It's going to... hopefully it's better than the one on Wednesday.
Yeah. I Reed text... I forgot about it. I was watching baseball and Reed text me. He's like, did you see that? And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes... Pickard. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're playing. And then I had to like track back and watch the whole first period.
I love how, and we talked about this last year on post game. I like how Seattle's broadcast team calls the players by their nicknames.
Yeah. And listen, like Seattle has a great broadcast team.
They do.
They have Eddie Olchuk. They have John Forsland, Nicky Olchuk, who's a great guy. Eddie's son is on that broadcast. It is. And then, is it JT? No, it's not JT Miller. It's
JT Brown.
JT Brown, really nice guy. Played in the league for a while. He's come along. Like they have great broadcasters with good knowledge. But I think part of being part of a new organization and franchise is like you have to kind of get everyone in. Mm-hmm. So they do use the nicknames. And I'll tell you this: like Eddie O was with the Blackhawks forever. He was a player there and then was part of the broadcast team and they had great runs there. He's from Chicago. Ricky O, who's with the Kraken now, great guy, used to be with the Oilers, assistant GM. I love Ricky O. I love Eddie O. Is a phenomenal human being. Johnny Forsland, creme de la creme when it comes to broadcasters and just people. Johnny was with the Hartford Whalers and the Carolina Hurricanes for like 25, 30 years.
That's crazy.
So like you're not, and John and Eddie O, like those are national level broadcasters.
Yeah.
But I think, a bit of let's make sure Seattle and the Pacific Northwest know this Kraken team and this franchise. I think part of the feel and message from the broadcast is to, make you feel like these players, and that's why you get the nicknames. It's different.
They called Oleksiak Big Rig. That's Patty Maroon's nickname. Patty. Easy says, will the game be on Oilers Plus today? Yes, but it's also on Sportsnet.
Yeah.
So it's on TV Easy, so you can watch it. You don't have to go to Oilers Plus if you don't want to, because it is free on the tube. Would it be the Vancouver broadcast? Yeah.
Yeah, it would be Murph. Well, Murph was using the desk, the Sportsnet desk here. He had Louis on when the Canucks were here earlier this week. Was it last week? Sunday, right? Yeah, it's the Canucks broadcast because the Canucks regional has their exhibition games, whereas Oilers regional, I believe, it's kind of sometimes they'll do a game or two depending on if it's convenient for them or it makes sense.
Max Bezuzu, if the Oilers broadcast needs nicknames, I can help. Yeah, he's really good at nicknames.
Max Bezuzu, I have no doubt you would help them. All right, it is the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas with you on this lovely Friday. You could text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Hit that thumbs up, please, and thank you. We appreciate it. Oilers in action to close out the preseason in Vancouver tonight at Rogers Place. As an arena stadium nerd, they have been pumping money into Rogers Arena. I feel like I just said Rogers Place. In Rogers Arena in Vancouver. And they put new seats in. I think there's a strip of seats they still have to do. I mean, it was about time, Nan. So
I was just there for a concert.
Oh, were you? How was it in there?
It was good. It's the first time I've ever been in there, so I don't know the changes.
The concourse is it's
a little tiny.
It's tight because they wedged it in. There's like an a viaduct that was there before, and they had to like wedge it into a smaller parcel of land. But I actually like going to games there.
Like it's different. I was there for a concert, but they had the layout of the rink, and like where I was sitting, I'm like, this is a good spot to watch a game. Like, and you know what I liked about their second tier every row has the bars.
Steep. Yeah.
Well, Rogers is like that.
I know, but I think they did it at a grade that they don't need the safety railing.
I love that they had the poles in every row.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect your
Sight
view,
lines or
anything.
anything,
It was great. So honestly, man, I was intrigued why they had Alex Burrows up in the.
He's on the Ring of Honor.
Oh, is he? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's not the guys that get their numbers
Okay.
retired, but it's like the Ring of Honor, like Kirk McLean, Pat Quinn.
Well, I saw like legends for Vancouver, and then Alex Burrows. I was intrigued. I was like, why is he up here? But I didn't know that.
You know what would be the equivalent of the new Oilers Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
It's similar to that. I like how they've rejuvenated. They put a new scoreboard in. They've done everything they can, and that to me is fascinating. And so they have new seats in there, and the lighting looks good, and this and that.
It's I've never been there, so it was a cool experience. It's a nice little spot, sure.
It's a good ring, and BC Place right across the street.
Yeah.
Where the
It's a busy area, man.
Very busy. There's a Costco right there. I love Costco.
Yeah.
I used to work there too. Anyway, so we'll see what happens tonight at Rogers Arena. All right, let's get to the big news from earlier in the day. A 3-year extension for head coach Kris Knoblauch. This guy is like one of the percentage-wise winningest coaches, winning percentage-wise in NHL history. And I think he's like top 3. Stoff was talking about it earlier in the day. But he's had 2 years under his belt, or a year and 3/4, whatever you want to call it. And 2 Stanley Cup Finals appearances. Now he's kind of made the coaching staff a bit of his own, because he had Glenn Gulletson before. Gully goes over to Dallas, takes over as head coach again there. Great guy. Takes David Pelche with him, makes Dave an assistant coach with the Stars. And then now we saw, Pete Aubry comes in, a couple new faces on the coaching staff. What do you make of the 3-year extension for Kris Knoblauch?
It's the right move. I mean, I think it's silly at times when some people think a coaching change is needed. Listen, he's come in, he's coached this team really well. He's taken him to 2 finals. Yes, they haven't been able to win one, but I do believe in him. And listen, in the playoffs, this guy rarely misses on the calls he has to make lineup wise. He's even in game stuff, he's really good. Now, I know sometimes people get annoyed with the line juggling and going with McDavid and Draisaitl, but every coach has done it, guys. And now, does Knoblauch do it probably more than the past coaches? Sure. But what this organization needs, especially in the window they're in for Stanley Cups, you need stability there at the head coach position. And Tom, I mean, look at the last 3-4 coaches of the Edmonton Oilers. Short stints, a little bit of success, 1 bad year, and they're out. So I like this. This is his 3rd year. He's going to get 3 more years. And in saying that, I mean, 1 bad season can change everything, but let's not go there right now.
He would have to crater.
Yeah, exactly. So I like it. I love his demeanor. I think I think the players love playing for him. I'm intrigued to see him with his new staff, because he was a part of it. He wasn't a part of the last one. He just came in and kind of inherited that staff. But yeah, I like it, man. The last thing the Edmonton Oilers need is a new coach. This is the last thing they need. And I know people get emotional after the Stanley Cup loss, and a lot of people are asking for him to get canned, but it's just not realistic. And good for him, man. He's a good guy. And did you know he played for the Golden Bears?
I thought that was just an old wives' tale. Wasn't too sure. So Kris Knoblauch, 3-year extension. Let us know your thoughts on that. 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. And if you're like, who are the new coaches? Paul McFarland is an assistant coach now. Mark Stewart remains on the staff, more of a more responsibility, a bigger role. He's he was the X's and O's guy on the defense. And I know a lot of people gave Paul Coffey credit because he breathed confidence into these guys. Yeah, but Paul Coffey wouldn't open up his laptop, right? He wasn't doing the X's and O's. He was letting Mark Stewart do that, and then he would, if a guy was soiling the sheets, for a lack of a better term, he'd go, wake the F up. Like, you can make that play. I've seen you make that play. He is old school. Yeah. And Paul Coffey remains special advisor of hockey operations. And I'll just remind folks of the pecking order. Daryl Cates, Paul Coffey, Jeff Jackson, Stan Bowman, everybody like Keith Gretzky, all the assistant GMs, and then everybody below them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That high, eh?
Yep. Paul Coffey's number 2 in command, and has been ever since he was brought back a few years ago.
That's crazy.
Pete Aubry takes over as goaltending coach from Dustin Shorts. Connor Allen takes over from David Pelche at the skills coach position. And then Noah Siegel and Eric Ellens remain as the video tandem. Noah is the head video coach, and Eric is video and analytics coach and coordinator. Noah Siegel, tremendous golfer. I saw him last week, and I have to send him the clip of us pumping up how good of a golfer he is. So sneaky, funny guy too. Both guys beauties. We played with them at the Derek Van Diest and I played with them at the Oilers media tournament.
Oh, nice.
It was a lot of fun. So there you go.
Big Uke says you forgot Stoff after Kate's.
My friend Bob is a great broadcaster. I'll leave it at that. He should not be involved in hockey ops. And I say that with love. And he's now like my neighbor. He lives across the street. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw him at the grocery store last week. I'm like getting a sandwich, and I feel someone like push me, and I was like, oh, now I have to throw hands at the grocery store. And I look, and he's like, hello, Tom. Hello, Robert. Good guy.
Were you at
City Market? I don't go far from my bubble there.
It's pricey, man. They have good soup, though.
You can find deals.
Yeah.
Soup's great there.
The soup's
chicken
great.
thigh.
We like the, it's called, I think it's red pepper and Gouda.
Oh, I've had that one.
It's good.
Very good. And it's so busy at lunch, too.
Yeah.
Because all the people from the towers around, they either go there or the...
Easy says Stoff might actually be ahead of Kate's.
Daryl doesn't know. Oh, that's funny. Well done, Max. Well done. Oh, no, that was Easy. Well done, Easy. Well done. All right. Obviously, the Oil Stream presented by BP's. And then we're inside the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios at Popeyes. My good buddy Jared Course was in here. He's now part of the business ops. I think he's the director of business ops for Popeyes locally. He brought in the Hot Ones spiced chicken sandwiches. And you can get the chicken with that flavoring, or you could get the classic delicious chicken sandwich with that Hot Ones spice. He gave me one, and I put it in my fridge when I got home. And I'm like, I'll just save it for like if I need some. It was my birthday. Had a lot of shots. Thank you to everybody at Ice House and Kelly's and all the people that showed up. And I'm like, I need to eat something. And I had that Hot Ones sandwich in my fridge, and I took 3 bites, and my mouth was on fire. I'm like, I can't. I'm getting sweaty thinking about it right now. But they have the blackened chicken. That's always delicious. And they have the chicken dippers, which are brand new. So check those out. All right. What do you got, Hernan?
Let's see here. I'm going to go to the inbox. Lots of messages coming in. Let's hear. Amos, Monday's press conference is just to formally announce Peter Aubrey. Pump the brakes, everyone. Well... Nothing's official that there's a press conference, is there?
There's been no announcement of any type of press conference. All we know or have been told is there was something scheduled in there, and that's been moved. So people are kind of jumping on that. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to get to the rink in the last couple of days. I haven't bothered my friends that are over there to find out. I'm optimistic that it is what people want it to be, but I don't know.
I think it'd be great.
Penner's Pancake says, I think it goes Kate's, coffee, and then stuff. Well done. Well done, Penner's Pancakes.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of speculation in the air right now. We'll wait and see.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see before we get far too excited here. It's going to be a big day, though, when McDavid does re-sign with the Edmonton Oilers. It's going to be great. If it's 2 years, Tom, I was telling Gage yesterday, that concerns me. You get him for 3 more years, but that concerns me. That shows me that he's like, I'm giving you 3 years, and then we'll see where we're at. Does that concern you?
No.
Compared to like a 4 or 5 year deal?
I think there's more relief in a 4 or 5 year deal, obviously. I expect this team to be good for the next 4 or 5 years. To me, this is just me. I really do think he wants to maximize his money.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
And if it's a 2 year deal, I look at it this way: it's a lot of pressure on Stan Bowman to keep this team competitive for a Stanley Cup. Yeah,
but in the little things that he has done, restocking the shelves, we talked about that earlier in the show. Bringing in more competition at goalie. It might not be the answer, but it is an attempt to improve. is like, how much more can you expect from Stan Bowman? Like, we had Dave Pagnotta on Hello Hockey on Saturday. We're back tomorrow, by the way. Dan Neer, WHL commissioner, will be joining us alongside Pagnotta. Pagnotta was hinting, and he had been telling Belzy and I this for months during the offseason, that prominent Oilers, and they skate with players from other teams, had been saying, Edmonton's could be an option for you. And I didn't want to. Dave spilled a little bit of the beans without saying too much, but he's hinting at and he said it's a significant forward, and this guy would make a big impact on the roster, and that's something that they're going to try to circle back to at some point this season. That was Dave's little tidbit that he had, and I believe him, because Dave is 98% right, and usually with him, Friedman, CJ, Drager, Pagnotta's right there with them. So there's a little breadcrumb that he dropped. Anyway, that reassures me too, and tells me that the intent and the actions of Bowman and Jackson are in the right place.
Well, yeah. I mean, they just got to sell Mr. 97 on it. No one knows what the hell
I don't know
McDavid's
how much
thinking.
more selling you need to do for him.
I just don't know.
You're a cup contender every year now.
Yeah, well, where
You've
else
lost the last 4 seasons to the Stanley Cup champion.
Where else are you going to go and get that? So,
right.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Monday, Tuesday.
For the sake of this just being over, I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's go to Hampton. Steve in the inbox says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Any concern that Wallman's injury has prevented him from spending training camp building chemistry with Nurse and getting used to playing the right side consistently? Hernan.
No, not really. He's played there before. He's played with Nurse a little bit, mixing and matching when they were in the playoffs and all that. So, no, Wallman's a vet.
I'd like to see, I'm more concerned about him being nicked up.
I'm more concerned about his injury than him not being up to speed with Darnell Nurse.
He was nicked up and he stayed out longer than we anticipated late in the regular season last year.
Yeah. So
that bothers me a lot. It raises my eyebrow.
He's a big part of this team. I truly believe that. I think Jake Wallman makes this decor one of the better decors the Oilers have had in a long time.
I still think it's a middle of the pack defense core.
I don't think it's top 5. I think the Athletic had him. Top 5 decor.
Yeah, that to me was surprising to read, but teach their own.
I think I don't think they're you said middle of the pack. I think they're just above middle. Because Ekholm, when he's, again, a lot depends on Ekholm getting older. Mm-hmm. Bouchard, how is he going to look after signing the big deal?
Bouchard shows up? Playoff Bouchard or early season Bouchard?
Yeah, Darnell Nurse is up and down.
Had a good regular season last year.
Kulak, Wallman, I think, are steady eddies.
Yeah,
and then
but you know their limitations.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they have they cap out at a certain point, and then Emberson's your young guy with Regula that
or Stetcher
that just play the lower minutes and kill some penalties for you, and there's not a lot of impact there. But yeah, I think if all these guys are playing at a high level, this is a really good decor. Really good.
Again, I'm very tentative to say that. Still,
really, That's interesting. Because do you what?
I hope I'm wrong.
What decor do you think is better? Do you think when they had Sekera and Klefbom and Larson, that was better?
That was no, because Sekera was on his way out.
Yeah,
I don't know. The defense of this team,
Nurse was there too, I guess,
hasn't really been super steady, amazingly reliable, and breathing confidence into you night to night, right? Yeah. The Tyson Barrie years, good on the power play, lots of offense, takes risks, gets burned, bad in his own zone.
Yeah.
Darnell Nurse, well, how's he playing this year? Poorly. Scary. Ethan Bear, up and down, up and down. Mm-hmm. Sometimes great, sometimes not so great at that time. You didn't have Ekholm. I think Matt Benning was around for a little while. Larson was always solid. You might be right in terms of this being a well-rounded defense compared to years prior, but I still don't go, Wow, look out for that Oilers defense.
It's interesting because like when Bouchard's on, he's great, right? But like, how many games are we going to get the bad Bouchard? How many games are we going to
0? To be honest with you,
how many games are we going to get bad Nurse? Is that
hopefully 0?
Is that going to bounce back?
I feel like I have more faith in happening right out of the gate.
Who's more important, Bouchard or Ekholm to this team?
Well, without Ekholm, Bush doesn't tick.
Okay, so it's Ekholm.
So that's why I had Ekholm higher in my rankings of importance. At some point, Bouchard's going to have to take over.
Because Gager and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I think we both said Ekholm because even though Bouchard's so brilliant offensively, like if you lose him, you can put Wallman in his spot on the power play and you probably won't miss a beat.
Fair.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to miss the outlet passes. You're going to miss the vision and all that. But I think Bouchard, and this is not a knock, but I think he's more replaceable than because no one on this team does what Ekholm does when he's on.
Ekholm does everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
At a very, very high level.
That's what I mean. Where like there's not one defenseman on the Oilers that does what Ekholm does. Where certain parts of Bouchard's game, Darnell can pick up, or Wallman can pick up, or Kulak. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So I agree with you. I think Ekholm is the key piece on this decor, and
as of right now.
And
listen, at some point, Bouchard should take over in that. Him and like Matthias Ekholm is not going to play for another 10 years. You might get a couple more, right? But at some point, Bouchard has to rise, be more responsible defensively. You need more consistency out of Darnell. Darnell's 30 years old. Let's go.
Smitty the Welder says, "I'm sorry, but at 10.5 mil, it's Bouchard." I understand the price tag now and the importance of it, but Smitty, I think we're just talking about like if let's say Bouchard's out of the lineup. That's what I'm saying. The Oilers with Ekholm will be fine, right?
I don't get caught up in the monetary value of a player's contract to assess where they should be and what value they have to the team.
Yeah,
to me, Smitty, like this is just me. The dollar amount they make does not correlate to what they are in terms of performance and ability necessarily, because guys get signed at different times in the cap.
And we have to be realistic. Bouchard's going to have bad games.
Yeah.
Every defenseman does.
We're seeing guys that have barely played in the NHL sign $9 million AAVs, and I can't directly correlate their experience and performance to that $9 million, and that's why I don't do that myself.
It's crazy, those deals right now. But down the road, they could be great deals, Tom. But but you sit here and you look at Lacombe and you look at Luke Hughes and you're like, wow, they make 1.5 less than Bouchard does. And for me, at least Bouchard, when he's on, he can turn a game around by himself. He can.
He
has in the playoffs.
I mean, they wouldn't have gotten through the first round if he didn't make a good defensive play at the line on Byfield.
But
right?
you know how it is, and it's fair game. I mean, he signed the big deal. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Bouchard to perform every game here.
Yeah.
Like, no more of those bad blunders where he just looks lazy or he's just coughing up the puck in the middle of the ice, Tom. Like, that stuff's got to get out of his game. And at least he said, I need to improve defensively, and good on him, and we'll see this year. So far in the preseason, he's had a few miscues for sure, but I don't want to read too much into that. But yeah, I think Stuart Skinner, Evan Bouchard, once again, Tom, as you know, will be in the spotlight 100%. I don't know who's third right now because last year was a lot of different guys, but Bouchard and Skinner have a ton of pressure on them right now.
Valid. I agree. Okay, a couple texts have come in via the nasty chat that I want to get to. Amishman19 says, I don't buy the Bouch doesn't tick without Ekholm. He was fine in the playoffs without him. And then there was another one I saw kind of along the same lines there. Let me find it. I just had it. It was saying, where the hell did that go? Max Bazuzu says, to be fair, Bouchard ticked at the earlier rounds last playoffs without Ekholm. And then, Jack, there it is. It is true. And then Bouchard had to drag Ekholm around with a damaged groin, so I disagree with that. Yeah, but you're getting Matthias Ekholm at 60%, and then Evan Bouchard, let me remind you, he did not have a good start to that LA series. He was bad.
No, people wanted to ship him out of town after game 2.
And Bouchard, he awoke late in that LA series and had a good second and third round. Finals were tough for everybody. Obviously, Florida kind of flexed on the Oilers. But, yeah, like, Ekholm was hurt. What did you expect from him? Like, Bouchard was up and running and found his game. But without Ekholm, there's no wiggle room for Bouchard to have those brain fart mistakes and there's not, you don't know if there's always going to be a guy to cover for him the way Ekholm does. Mm-hmm. That's my rationale behind it. And if you're coming back at that thought and saying, well, Bouchard dragged him around in the playoffs. Yeah, because Ekholm was playing with a torn abductor muscle that they didn't think he should be playing on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He wanted to get in there, and you can't fault the guy. Yeah. He's an older guy. He's been, he wants to win the cup.
He's a Viking.
He's a Viking. Of course, he wants to play in hopes of winning that cup and all that. But listen, it's both guys when they're on, they're excellent. Like, we're not trying to kid anyone here. Like, Bouchard, when he's on, he's an excellent player.
Yeah.
He is. So we'll wait and see. The big one for me in the decor, though, Tom, is Wallman and Nurse. Can they find
That'll be
chemistry?
interesting. That could be a disaster.
Can they defend
could be
well?
Really good. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
We might see Kulak up there with Nurse if things don't work out again, right? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I can't wait for next Wednesday. There's going to be a buzz in the air here, Tom. You're going to be ready to roll the pregame. We'll all be down at the game. I
got my new home studio setup done. Yes, nice. I got that all up and running. Got like studio quality microphone. I'm excited. I set it all up. Yes, I put an Instagram video up of it. I'm very pumped. I had the show on. Here we go.
It's going to be great.
I have to dig the light out.
Let's just hope it's a win.
That'd be lovely. Let's get to a couple texts before we get to the numbers game, which is presented by Play Alberta. Coop, do you have that graphic? Thanks, man. This text says, Bouchard was terrible until he made the series-saving play on Byfield against LA. Mm-hmm. This text, Calgary says, if Bouch is out, Wallman or Nurse can run the power play. Jordan says, I still think the Oilers are the best team in the Pacific.
Yeah.
LA got a hell of a lot older. Vegas, they lost 2 top 4 D-men, and Marner isn't going to fill those holes on defense. Good text, Jordan. Coach Mike says it has to be better than CC and Nurse. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay, let's get to the numbers game presented by Play Alberta. The new October codes are out. EST 50 with a $50 deposit. It gets you a $50 free bet. That's always fun to do. You can jump on Jay's Play of the Game or Play of the Day or the Lock Shop Partner Parlay or the Grandest Play of the Day, which I sprinkled a bunch. I came out a winner yesterday, but I sprinkled a whole bunch. And then there's EST Casino for a $50 deposit. You get $50 casino bonus. And then EST Sports promo code gets another $50 deposit, gets you another $50 free bet. Those are our presenting partners over at Play Alberta. And as always, remember to use your game sense. For tonight, Hernan, as we're in the numbers game, what are you focusing on? Thank you, Coop.
I'm going to be focusing on the young guys. I'm going to still look at Thomas Tech, Howard, Philp, Savoy. Doesn't look like Regula. I don't know if he's going to draw in tonight or not, but if he does, those are the guys. Because the rest, like Draisaitl and McDavid, I'm not worried about. Not worried about vets like Henrique and all that. Nuge, Mangiapane. They'll be fine. So again, looking at the young guys, they're going to play a Vancouver team that's more NHL ready. So that's why I'm intrigued with the young guys, see how they handle it, and go from there, because these guys are going to be here come next Wednesday. There's going to be some transactions made. Sure. Don't overreact, because I know Puckpedia had a whole situation for the
Oilers.
I
read that and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I still, you know that gif of
Alan from
Alan. Yeah, that's me reading that. I was like, what?
All the numbers floating
I'll
around.
just let other people figure it out.
Yeah.
And then
Just tell me when you know.
If Skinner is playing, I don't know. I'm intrigued.
I have
by
a
Skinner.
number for tonight's game in the numbers game.
Okay.
What's acceptable for Skinner? 1 or 2 goals against? Anything more than that? No bueno? Like, how are we looking at this?
Yeah, because I asked Hawk, and Hawk's like, don't read too much into preseason action. But I don't think he could be over 3-4 goals again.
No softies, man.
No softies. That's
have your best performance.
That's the thing here. So I'm looking at the young guys once again. I know I called. Well, 29 is young, Tom.
For you, maybe me.
I'm an old dog.
In the hockey world,
It's older.
The pro sports world, it's older. It's mature.
Yeah. So I'll be looking at it. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. Always the last game is more NHL lineups. And after tonight, Tom, we get going for real. So I can't wait. 8 o'clock, Sportsnet.
There you go. You can watch the game. Shout out to our good friend, Patrick Steinberg, celebrating his birthday today. He just texted me back. Happy birthday, Patty. I know you're a big fan of EST. We'll have to have him back on the show. Maybe we'll have him on for that Calgary game. I know he's got his pregame show too, but yeah, Patty Steinberg, an absolute beauty. If you ever get a chance to listen to him or see him or watch him, he's one of the best, and we're lucky to have him as a good friend and colleague down in Calgary. All right, Nancito, what's coming up on EST Afternoons with Joaquin Gage?
Yeah, loaded show. We're going to talk about, obviously, continue the conversation on Knoblauch getting extended. We'll go through the lineups, injury news. We'll talk about the Thursday nighter where my Niners won again.
Congrats, by the way.
Blue Jays, Yankees. I can't wait for this series tomorrow.
Yeah.
Derek Van Diest at 120. Zach to the Future. We'll have the Need for Speed segment for Rad Torque Raceway. And Ian Harrison, who covers the Blue Jays for the Associated Press, will join us at 2:20. We have to talk about this series. So lots of fun. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, and myself coming up.
Another 5 hours of tremendous programming right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, that's going to do it for the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Thank you to everybody who watched, listened, chimed in via the inbox or the nasty chat. We appreciate you so very much. I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Hello Hockey, myself and Belzy alongside Benny Thompson. We've got Dan Neer, commissioner of the WHL, joining us. A lot of interesting things happening with junior hockey and the tectonic shift in the hockey world. So Dan will give us the scoop on all of that. Pagnotta will be by as well. For the Latino Heat, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Ciao for now.